I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're taking a deep dive into the intriguing world of self-awareness with a remarkable book. It is called Discovery is Recovery: Brain, Emotion, and Spiritual Reflection Through the Creative Process. It is written by a remarkable author. Her name is Brenda L. This insightful book offers a transformative journey into understanding our own character, emotions, and desires. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Brenda, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Logan, thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to see and meet you.
Great to see and meet you as well and talk with you. Your book is amazing. Discovery is Recovery. You make a great connection between the creative process and mental well-being. Tell us a little bit about your theories there.
Logan, it's more of my life experience that I'm sharing in this book. Yes, there are some theories behind it about brain energy and emotional intelligence and, how they all work together to allow us to be the best that we can be in life. This was created because of the Rumi poem that I saw, The Guest House, which is in the book. Remember that poem?
Yep, absolutely.
And it just really reminds me that it's all about allowing things to happen and choosing how I want to respond to it.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote the book. Besides, the divine gave me inspiration to do so as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we only really have control over our reactions. That's a difference between people and animals. Animals have a stimulus, they react, there's no thought process there. But we have a momentary process where we can decide to do A, B, C, or D, or whatever. And that's what distinguishes us from animals. And it's what makes for mental well-being as well. Tell us a little bit about how self-reflection and creativity can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself.
It depends on what you want to reflect on. What I give people in the book are certain words that show up in your life, like honesty. And how do you show up honestly in your life? How many times do we talk little stories that aren't really the truth, but it's like what people call the white lie? Is that really honest? And when you're doing a deep dive into anything, any emotion or feeling that happens to come up, if you ask yourself the tough questions, how do I really want to show up? Do I want to show up angry? Or do I want to find out why I'm angry and deal with that? That's why the
Absolutely.
deep dive is so important, because you're learning about yourself.
Yeah. And in your book, you mentioned it's a rarity to have true self-awareness, right?
Yes.
Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about some of the misconceptions people have about understanding themselves.
You know, it's really important to look at what masks are you choosing to wear in any given situation. A lot of times we do the at work mask, we do the at family mask, we do at the celebration masks. And do I want to keep wearing all of those masks because they're not really honest? And a lot of times we don't even know we're wearing them because they've become so habitual from childhood, because of traumas, because of pain. They were protection for us. Do we still need that protection? And sorry for that. I have a 97-year-old father, and I have to look to see if there's phone calls related to him
Oh, sure,
because
no
he's on
worries.
hospice. So thank you for allowing that. So it really is important to learn where I'm hiding.
Yeah.
and what I'm hiding behind and what I'm hiding from.
Yeah. And if you're wearing a mask, whether it's the work mask, the family mask, the celebration mask, you're not really being yourself,
That's
right? You're
right.
not being your true self. You're not being a genuine self. And I think that's important. And people do create personas or masks or whatever you want to call it, um, as kind of a coping mechanism for life.
Hmm.
So I do think it's important to connect. Let's give the folks at home an overview of what your book, Discovery is Recovery, all about. Let's give them a little summary here.
It's about connecting with your emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence, if we are emotionally intelligent, which means that you're kind and you're compassionate no matter what's showing up, okay? That takes learning.
Hmm.
And the statistics show that 80% of a person's success is based on your emotional intelligence, and only 10% is based on your IQ, or
Yeah.
20%. So it's like, why would I not want to be more emotionally intelligent? And in order to do that, I need to be self-aware, because I need to decide how I want to respond to a given situation and what I want to learn from that given situation. And that's what I help people do in the book, because I ask the questions about, how do you respond to the word courage
Hmm.
or love or perseverance? And if you want to find out what your subconscious is saying to you, write or draw with your non-dominant hand, because you can't hide when you're using your dominant hand. It's just going to show you what's there. So I give you all of those ways that you can explore and do a deep exploration if you choose.
Yeah.
And it is a choice. It's
Yeah.
all about choice.
It also talks about the creative process, your book. Tell us the connection there.
The creative process are the looking at the photos, the quotes, the words, figuring out what they mean to you and how you want to show that in the blank spaces in the book. You can write poetry, you can draw, you can color, you can just do spiritual writing, and that's all creative process. The other thing that's creative process is just asking yourself the questions and getting excited
Mhm.
about what's coming up, because that's creativity too, and we forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think your brain is very alive during the creative process. For me, it's a very happy place, whether I'm acting or
Yes.
writing or creating a video, whatever it is. You
Hmm.
feel very in the moment, you feel very inspired, you feel very connected with yourself. So I definitely agree with you that there's a strong connection between brain, emotion, and spiritual self-reflection through the creative process, which, of course, is the subtitle of your book. Tell us what it was like for you writing this book. It must have been kind of therapeutic or cathartic for you even to go through everything you've learned over the years from your life.
Thank you for asking that, Logan. It was cathartic. It was also, I learned a lot about myself doing it,
Hmm.
because I looked at each of the words for myself and said, how do I want to bring this into my life? And where in the process am I blocking myself? Because answering these questions, the opposite is always going to show up. Like honesty is the first one. Well, when I'm dishonest, that's going to show up as I'm writing if I'm really doing a deep dive.
Yeah.
So what is it that I want to learn about that? And how do I want to change that? And is there anybody I need to say I'm sorry to that I
Hmm.
haven't been honest with? And so those are the tough questions.
Yeah.
And
And
it's such a joy to be able to do something like this. I've just published another book as a co-author, so 7 people. It's called Sacred Connection, and my whole story is in that book.
Wonderful.
And that's also on Amazon as well. But so if you want to hear more about me, it's in that book.
Wonderful. That's great. So have you done any of other writing besides this Discovery is Recovery book and your contribution to that book?
I am in the process of writing a second discovery book about vitality and what kinds of things bring vitality into your life, what kinds of emotions and gifts do we have that bring vitality into our life, because some of them are surprises.
Can you share one or two with us?
Can I share one or two with you?
Yeah.
How about resentment? How
I would
about
think that'd be a
judgment?
vitality killer, right?
Actually, it's not, because if you can look at what you're resenting, you can go, oh, is that how I really want to be?
Yeah.
And you can, again, ask the tough questions. Where is this coming from? Is it a core belief that I want to keep, change, or let go of?
Yeah.
So even resentments and judgments can help bring vitality and increased awareness.
Interesting. And that is something I didn't suspect. So that's great. That's great that you have that in your upcoming book. We're looking forward to it. This book is just terrific. It is called Discovery is Recovery: Brain, Emotion, and Spiritual Reflection Through the Creative Process. It is written by Brenda Balding. It is an insightful book that offers a transformative journey into understanding your own character, emotions, and desires. It's a great book to get your head straight. Start out 2024 being honest with the person you should be most honest with, and that is yourself. Brenda, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan.
Namaste, and thank you as well. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.